end of the auto spectrum, the Mazda Motor Company has long had a reputation for building vehicles that are fun to drive. Remember the Zoom Zoom ad campaign? They whispered it, though, didn't they?
Zoom Zoom.
Yeah, right.
Since its introduction in the early 2000s, the Mazda 3 has lived up to that reputation. Now in its fourth generation, Mazda has added something else to its small sedan and hatchback, a touch of luxury. Let's check it out as we go behind the wheel with Harvey Briggs.
All new Mazda 3 from the ground up. They've redone this small car and given it a whole new personality.
And what is that personality?
It's much sportier and a little more luxurious.
More sporty and a little more luxurious. Kind of like Harvey.
I've been pleasantly surprised with this, driving it around all week. Had to take a long road trip with it, and there's plenty of room up front here.
Not so much in the back.
No, the back is a little tight.
Don't hurt yourself.
There we go.
So why would I want this rather than a Civic or a Corolla or...
You know, it's personality. This is a sportier car. It's more fun and more engaging to drive than either of those.
Harvey's really impressed with the interior.
This is pretty upscale for a car this price.
Yeah, it really is with the trim work. They've done a nice job of balancing the different materials, putting the soft touch things where you want them and you'll feel them, and keeping the harder surfaces out of your way a little bit. I like the little touches of the soft chrome here. It's not overly done, and the dials themselves feel really good.
And Harvey's really impressed with the exterior. I love the color.
Yeah, finally a Mazda that's not red. This is polymetal gray mica, they call it, and it really is a nice solid looking color.
That color, however, is only available on the Mazda 3 hatchback.
You can get this as a four-door sedan and a hatchback. The hatchback is positioned as the sportier version of the two, although they have the same engine and transmission.
That engine being a 2.5-liter four-cylinder, making 186 horsepower, linked to a 6-speed automatic transmission. All-wheel drive is an option on all but the base sedan. A manual transmission is available on the top-of-the-line hatch, but from the bottom of the line to the top, there's only about an $8,000 difference.
You have a base, you have the select trim, you have preferred and then premium, and really the base is if you just want the lowest price possible, and then that comes in at $21,000 for the sedan.
The sweet spot is somewhere in the middle. Speaking of sweet,
I was really impressed. Actually, I showed it to my son last night who's looking for a new car, and he was like, this one looks good.
like father, like son. Zoom Zoom. And Harvey's here now. You really like Mazdas from top to bottom.
Yeah, I mean, overall, their line speaks to me because it is a little sportier. It is a little more luxurious than, say, some of the other ones. And I also like the restraint they show in their design, especially in the interior.
It's a really good-looking car, and they call it a hatchback. They embrace the hatchback.
They're embracing the hatchback. They realize that, you know, you can only misname things so often before people will get onto it.
And the mileage is pretty
Mileage on that is pretty good. 24 around town. It was about 32 on the highway. And when we took our long trip back and forth, we even did a little better than that. I think we did pretty close to 34.
Oh, that's
so you can get a car that you can live with for about $25,000.
Yeah, 25, 26, and that pretty easily.
That's a deal for a new car these days.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll talk about the one I drove this week sometime soon, which is a little more expensive.
All right, as they usually are.
Yeah.
Thank you, Harvey. Go to ridesanddrives.com for more on this and all the cars that Harvey drives, and we'll be